Good morning and a happy Thursday to everybody. And this is 10 on Thursday. As usual, I will bring you some workplace stories that I have experienced in the past where I want to bring it to you and share my own learning, and hopefully you can learn from it as well. Now, last week I was talking about winning, and this week, the 10 on Thursday, we will talk about the one where I feel like quitting. Yes, not every time I think about winning, people. Sometimes I do feel like quitting too. Now, a few days ago, I was on a mentoring session with a group of students. They are mostly final year students and ready to explore the world. So in my mentoring session, I have 7 of them in my room. I had 7 of them in my room. One of them actually asked me, Puan Nurul, Puan Fatia, share with us one of the challenge that you face at the workplace. And I was like, okay, of course, I say there will be a lot of challenge. I had been through a lot of challenge in the past almost 20 years of working. And the story that I told him in the room in the mentoring session was the time where I felt like quitting a job. And this is not after years of working at the organization. This is after few months of working. Normal, right? You get into a new organization and some people were so hyped and they just wanna roll and do whatever they need to work. But me, I can tell you there had been at least two workplaces that after a few months of working, like within the first 3 months or the first 6 months, I was screaming every day, calling my friends, calling my mom, and tell them like, I really just want to quit. Like, I do not like this place at all. And the good news is, of course, I did not. And for both organizations, I actually stayed the longest, like 4 to 5 years of my working tenure with this organization. Now, what happened and what did I do to overcome that feeling of wanting to quit and eventually stay the longest? And I can tell you, these are the workplaces that I eventually enjoyed the most and learned the most as well. Okay, so what happened back then is, as I mentioned, I called my friends and I called my mom and screaming like, I just want to quit, right? There are so much pressures, a lot of tension, and although I still do my work as is, still do my work as usual, still to do what is expected of me, inside me, I wasn't happy. There was so much discomfort that I have to go through every day, and it's very tiring, right? You know, having to wake up in the morning, drag yourself out of bed, and then I had breakfast. Luckily, we both organization had a very awesome breakfast, so still had breakfast, drove to work, and I tell you, these two workplaces, I had to at least drove for half an hour before I reached the office. So it wasn't the best 30 minutes of driving when, you know, knowing that I will have to get to work and all the things that I don't like will happen. Yeah, 30 minutes drive, jam, traffic lights, name it, everything that annoy you on the road. Yes, I experienced those. Okay, talking about wanting to quit. So a lot of things, right? So yeah, so it was very tiring. It was very stressful just to get through the day. So I don't like to be I don't like to live in discomfort. I don't like to be unhappy. I guess every day I need to have a reason to be happy. Even for 5 minutes, I need to have a happy moment. Better if 24 hours of happiness, right? Better. I want that. But at that point, I wasn't, and it was bad. So what did I do? I start reflecting, right? And by saying reflecting, this is not a 5 minutes reflection. This is many days and many months of reflecting, connecting with myself, thinking, until I get to a point where, okay, I got to switch. Now, all of this began with awareness, okay? Back then I was thinking, what was the source of this discomfort? What is it that makes me feeling discomfort? And where does it happen? So in my reflection, I realized one of the discomfort is, actually two of the discomfort is, most of the time is I actually miss my friends. I was living away from the town that I originally was when my friend was, or my friends were, and I miss them. I feel like I don't have a friend and I don't like it, okay? And because back then I moved to a smaller town, of course they require a lot of lifestyle changes. In my head back then, where do I shop? This is the time where, online shopping wasn't very normal. So I was like, where do I shop for my clothes? Where can I get good pizza? Seriously, folks, I was like, where can I get good pizza that is not fast food? It was so stressful, right? Even these two. These are the major discomfort. I mean, work I can handle, but still, a lot of other discomfort. But I can pinpoint like at least one workplace that these are my discomfort, or was my discomfort. So, of course, there are the workplace where I find it very difficult to not just lifestyle, also work style changes. In other workplaces, I was like, it's really hard for me to get used to the way my boss work. I kind of miss my old boss. Like, can I just go back and work with him again? I kind of miss my old boss and still, trying to get a hang of a new boss and get a hang of new colleague. The meeting style are different, the working style are different, everything are different. There's a workplace where 24 hours around the clock they will be sending WhatsApp, and it really drove me insane. I tell you. Like, what is this, 12 o'clock in the morning and you talk about the meeting tomorrow morning? Like, can I just go to sleep please? And madness, I tell you. Okay, so what was the next question that I asked myself? The first question is, of course, what's the source of the discomfort, and I found out what are the sources. And my next question to me, those questions that make me reflect, was what is it that I have within me that I can use to manage all the discomfort, or at least half of the discomfort to start with. In other words, I actually asking myself, what is my strength that I can anchor on? So at the workplace where I miss my friends, I realized, hey, I'm actually good at building connection. I'm actually good at starting conversation. I'm actually good at making friends. So I start making friends, right? I start to connect with people. I start to observe people and understand the kind of relationship that I have with each other, like, what kind of things that they talk about. And because I love food, I'm inclined to make friends with people who love food as well. See, I know two things at the same time. So these people who love food, they know where to eat locally. Guess what? I found a place to have good pizza. Seriously, good pizza, okay? And when I come back to Kuala Lumpur and work, it cannot beat that. Like, the best pizza is in my hometown, Kuantan. So I make friends, and I know where place to eat. So the discomfort slowly ease, and guess what? I am happier and get better at work. In another workplace, I was anchoring on my strength to learn. I told myself that my strength is learning, and the job actually give me an opportunity to work with different organizations, to work with different level of management, to work in a different project. So the possibilities of me learning new things, learning about people, learning about organization, learning about structure, system, learning about framework, learning about how to consult, learning about how to do sales is abundance. And when I started realizing that, everything else start to ease. And because you see, remember back in the first workplace, I learned how to build connection and make friends. In this organization also, I learned to make friends with my boss. I learned to make friends with, in a different way, learned to make friends with my colleague again. And when that friendship started to grow, and as I anchor on my strength to learn, all the discomfort melted as well. You see, what I'm getting at is, had an awareness of when you feels like quitting, had an awareness of what is the source of this discomfort. You want to quit because it's discomfort, right? You don't want to quit because you're happy. No, it's always because you had discomfort. So check it out. Check it. what is it? What was it that, or what is it that gave you that discomfort? And then ask yourself, what is your strength? We had a lot of strength in us. What is it inside us that we can use to anchor it? This strength can be our innate strength, like it's inside us. It could be from our experience. It could be from what we had learned along the way, something that we have used in the past that could work. Okay, so start with these two. What are the discomfort, and two, what is it inside you that you can use to manage all this discomfort? And inshallah, you could manage every time you feel like quitting. Okay, so that's all for today. 10 minutes on Thursday, the one where I feel like quitting, and the one where not the one where but you know, the realization and the awareness that I eventually able to reflect on and move forward, and yeah, winning victory in the end, where I stayed and had a lot of fun in those years of working with these organizations. Okay, so until I see you next week, stay safe, take care of yourself, and have a good week ahead. Bye.